Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, where today it is time to make some confessions. That's right, some of the biggest mistakes I have made playing this game. I kind of reveal them to you here today. And actually, this is part of a playlist that Plarium is putting together. And because I'm doing this video, because I'm telling you these embarrassing things, there will be a giveaway coming soon. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, you hear about the details for that in the next week or so. I'll let you know in a video. But yeah, stay tuned. It will be coming up very, very soon. So let's dive in. Let's talk about some embarrassing stuff. What have I done that is really stupid? Well, here's a good fun one, which keeps biting me in the butt. I did a guide for Mithrala almost over a year ago. Yeah, this is a year ago, right? And to this day, actually to 4 days ago, I'm still getting comments saying, where are the masteries? I forgot to do masteries in this guide for Mithrala Lifebane. Masteries? Where? No masteries. Where are the masteries, mate? No masteries in this video. That's a pretty big point to miss. Yeah, you're not wrong. It is a pretty big point to miss. That's pretty embarrassing. So yeah, this is one of the dumber thing. How did I did a bloody 45-minute video and I still miss masteries. How did I manage that? I don't know. I have to do an updated guide to Mithrala now, I guess. Especially since Hex is so much better for Hydra and everything now. But yeah, look, yikes, pretty bad. So that's number one. Whoops, mistakes were made. Number two, oh, this is a classic one. I did this once before. Seeing as we have this type of classic fusion going on right now, obviously for the classic fusion, you have to get your epics up to 5-star level 50 fully ascended, and you have to get the rares to make those up to 4-star level 40 fully ascended. Well, I don't remember which fusion it was, and I don't have any screenshots because I want to just forget the painful memory. But one time I went in and I was just playing without really thinking about it, and I turned a bunch of the rares up into 5-star champions. So the thing is, you can still use them, right? You can still use them to fuse the epic, but you have to get them, I think, to level 50. Like they have to be fully leveled up, I think, or at least up to level 40 again. So needless to say, by getting, let's say, even if it was just 4 rares up to level 50, thinking I had to get 4 rares to level 50 to fuse the epic, that wasted a whole bunch of 4-star food and then leveling them up again a second time. So that was pretty stupid. So watch out for that one. I'm glad to say I've never missed actually fusing a legendary, but I know plenty of people who have, So yeah, hasn't happened yet, but watch out for it. Again, reminder, Razzlevarg, there is a timer. You have to fuse him before the timer ends. Do not miss it. I'm going to be fusing mine during CVC for those juicy CVC points. And by the way, come to the CVC live stream. We'll be here on the channel when CVC goes live this Tuesday. And I usually stream for maybe 2 or 3 hours at the start of CVC. The VOD will be up afterwards if you want to check out the VOD. If you can't make it live, there will probably be a giveaway during that stream as well. So stay tuned for that. Okay, cool. Well, we have some other mistake. Here's an interesting one, actually. Another mistake I made was thinking that 10x events were bad. I actually have a whole video series on this. I encourage you to go watch it on like shard pulls, when is good, when is bad. One of the things that was really interesting to me, and this is particularly for void shards for me, is that 2x events don't give you double legendaries because of how the mercy system affects things, right? Because the mercy system is in there and it's basically improving your odds to summon when you're having bad luck effectively. It's quite a complicated thing. I broke it all down in a video, but what it actually comes down to is that you get about 1.5 times as many legendaries in 2x events versus outside of 2x events. It's not 2x, because the mercy system is just not as good during 2x events, right? Because you're expecting to pull stuff sooner. Yeah, like everyone, I kind of thought that 10x events sucks. It's sort of the thing that you say, and that 2x events are the time to pull. And I went with that for a long time, even with void shards. Now, the thing about 2x events for voids is there's lots of really good void epics, and you do want to get those. But for me, on my account, for I would say a good few months, I was still pulling my void shards in just 2x events, saying, hey, I just want as many void legendaries as possible. I was doing that for ages instead of saving up for the good 10x events, giving myself just a good chance to get a game-changing void legendary. So I've got a few void legendaries, not a crazy amount, but the ones that are game-changing, that are really OP, make a huge difference. So I do think when you're far enough into the game, I would say, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years for most people. By the time you're about 2 years into the game, that's probably the point where you should very seriously be going, okay, by this point, I should probably have stopped pulling in 2x events for the most part, apart from when you have to for fusions and stuff like that. And I should be much more focused on tracking my mercy system and using that to target double legendary events, 10x events even. But yeah, I just think it's one of those things. 2x good, 10x bad. That's a simplification that I was, kind of a slave to for too long myself. Next one up, fourth, and the second last. Fourth, I actually do think that I underestimated Eilil. I think I did. This one is, I can forgive myself for this one a little bit. So for example, looking at this was the video where it actually came out about 4 months ago, the surprise guaranteed Void Legendary event. I actually had almost enough Void shards to get Eilil. Now, at the time, I wasn't buying any shards, right? I've only started to buy some shards a bit recently, spending a bit more in the game to bring you guys more content. But, so maybe I wasn't going to be able to get him right there, but I'm so close to it. And here's the thing. Eilil was buffed very recently, and that buff, we had no hint that that buff was coming at the time they did his guaranteed. And yeah, the buff really improves him. What does the buff do? The buff allows him to fully ignore Stone Skin, including the Stone Skin shield. Before, it would allow you, it used to always say ignore Stone Skin, but before what it did, it would ignore the damage reduction that Stone Skin gives you. I don't remember exactly what it is. Is it 75% damage reduction while you've got the Stone Skin buff? Apart from obviously bomb debuffs, which do more damage. I think it's 75 or like 80% or something like that. Crazy damage reduction when you've got Stone Skin buff on. He used to ignore that, but he did not ignore the Stone Skin extra health bar, as it were. And what that meant was that he actually still couldn't really kill people through Stone Skin. It just wasn't enough, which was a pretty big problem. He doesn't ignore shield, which is definitely another problem as well, but he does ignore now the Stone Skin shield, as it were. And since they changed him, that makes him so much better, right? You can actually just kill people that have Stone Skin on at the start of the fight, or even like turn 2. And definitely now for live arena, I actually think that Eilil, I'm sad I don't have him, and I probably could have him right now. I think Eilil will be a super, super good nuker for live arena. He obviously has the problem that he removes buffs and he puts out blocked buffs and he's stealing buffs as well, right? He has a big problem with polymorph. He's obviously going to get polymorphed if they're running polymorph blessing, but oftentimes, I'm fighting a lot of opponents that have plenty of champions that don't have polymorph on, and especially in live arena, where you can sort of pick and target. You go, hey, they're drafting a team without polymorph. This could be a great fight to bring in Eilil. Or alternatively, all of their champions are super ascended and have polymorph. All right, I won't bring in Eilil this time, But I think this champion, because he has this so useful, ignoring Stone Skin plus these other buffs, that's really good. And then it also fully heals him and gives him Stone Skin. That is so strong to get an attack-based nuker, and he just keeps generating Stone Skin to keep him alive in the fight. He can steal all buffs that cannot be resisted on his A1. I think that is absolutely massive as well, again, in these live arena fights, for stealing all the buffs off these really buff-heavy enemies and using those to protect him and empower him. He also gets a bunch more stats for the attack that he has, and he gets a ton of turn meter when he receives a buff as well. So I think that's pretty huge. He's got really good base speed. So when you look at live arena now, again, we didn't know this at the time. We didn't know he's going to be buffed, but I still feel bad. I think this guy is nuts for it. Absolutely nuts. He's going to be actually quite tanky with really good base speed and this passive really fast for an attack-based nuker. And that's exactly what I struggle with attack-based nukers, is keeping them alive, dealing with Stone Skin, right, and ally protection and actually getting kills, right? And having enough speed to stay on top of things. I think he has everything that you need. So I actually think this legendary is super, super good right now for live arena. I could have maybe had him, and I'm sad that I don't, basically. So there you go. And then the fifth, the biggest mistake of all. I can't believe this one either. I've been doing these collaborations with this English guy called YST. Unbelievable. And the son of a gun, he's come in, and now he has more subscribers than me. I can't believe it. He has more subs. This is just absolutely shocking. I can't believe I've been, promoting him, and he's got really good content, and now he's come and he's got even more subs. That is just shocking, isn't it? That's just terrible. So we need to make sure not to do that again. We need to sweep it under the rug. We need to edit out all the bits where we tell people to sub to his channel from any collaborations we do in future. And he won't know. He'll never know. They're gonna be our secret, okay? We gotta play all the dirty tricks to get back in the game. No, I'm only messing, but yeah, look, I think the other mistakes I think is interesting, a couple of just really stupid ones for me at the start with the Matrala and 5-starring the rares for the fusion. And then I think, there's more controversial ones about 10x events, about like a guaranteed champion like Ilo. Stuff that is more controversial, that's really not as clear cut. Like just forgetting masteries in a guide is just obviously stupid. But, the Ilo thing is more of a debate, and I think that's interesting, but I still feel like that's a bit of a mistake. And sure, I could point out like a million little mistakes I've made in live arena right now. I make plenty of little mistakes every single day in every video, but I said I'd point out some of the bigger ones here today, and I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. Let me know any big mistakes that you have made. Check out any other content creators that have done this video. I'd expect quite a few to be doing it over the next week. Like I said, there's going to be a nice giveaway coming, so stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the stream on Tuesday as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a great weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye. I didn't have the thing open to click stop recording. Oh my god. We're actually ending on a mistake. I'm not editing it out. We're just going with it. Cool. Goodbye.